It's been a few days since we've actually made a video, and man, it's almost feels like a week. Like sitting down and not really having anything to talk about. It's been pretty dry out there. I've even seen people canceling their podcasts. It's been crazy how slow it's been. But we finally have a little bit of collection of news. There's not been anything really major to talk about. Now, there is obviously the whole First Descendant drama that's been going on. I'm going to touch on that today. Maybe I'll make a full-on video for that tomorrow. But we've got some updates to Xbox games coming. We've got some Final Fantasy 14 news as well. So I thought, you know what? We've got a little bit to talk about. Let's get this into a video and put it out there. So if you do find this video useful, informative, or do simply want to support the channel, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell to stay up to date with all content I release. We've hit 7,000 subs, onward to 7.25. 10,000 by the end of the year. Hopefully I'll see you in the stream on Tuesday, where we will hopefully have a bit of fun. If there isn't any news, we can do some gaming stream and play some games. But hey, let's see how that works out. But of course, if you want to support me further, you can do that through my YouTube membership, where you can get content early, and of course through the super thanks. And if you really want to support me further, you can do that through my Patreon. Okay, on with the actual video, and the first bit of news we have today is, of course, this one over here from Paris. The next 2 weeks of Game Pass is looking really good. So we're getting Flintlock, which is dropping down in pretty much 11 days, which is pretty cool. And at the same time, Dungeons of Hinterberg is dropping, so we'll definitely give these a try and give like a first impression for them as well. We're getting Kunitsu also dropping on the same day. So 3 decent games, biggish games, well, I wouldn't say overly big, but 3 decent games dropping to Game Pass on the same day, on the 18th. We're getting Frostpunk 2. Now, I thought this actually got delayed until September. I could be wrong. It could have been another game that I heard. So maybe, but we'll see how this one goes. And of course, for those of you who love the Age of Mythology games, well, this retold is being released in the not too distant future. Now, what's interesting here, of course, is what Jez Corden said. Now, however you want to take this, because there's not much to go on, he says, might look even better soon, maybe, possibly, could be, potentially, however you want to take this. It's pretty much a nothing statement. If something happens, great. If nothing happens, don't hold me accountable. Paris shows the eyes. Don't get my hopes up, Jez. It's already looking pretty spicy, no? So take that as you will, but just know that there could be more additions to this coming very shortly. And of course, with Gamescom just around the corner, things could be heating up as well, as Xbox is supposed to have a presence there. So let's see how that works out. All right, so next we come up to the First Descendant. And the First Descendant has been released to a very different type of reception. Now, the game itself plays good, the gunplay is good, the combat is good. The story is passable. It does get better, I'm told, as you get into the game more. Hopefully they'll explain a few things as well. So I'm actually enjoying the overall scope of the game. It's fun, but the monetization of this game for a free-to-play game is going completely and utterly out the door. It is like everyone is trying to take pot shots at this game. It's not just the average people that are flying around saying this. You've got people from all over the place, as you can see here, it's crazy. The hateful of the First Defendant is pretty wild. People acting like the game smashed their girl, smacked their mama, and took a shit in their bed. It's not that serious. Not everything is going to be your vibe. Uninstall and move on. And that is my approach. If you don't like a game, that's fine. Move on. You don't have to sit there and talk about it and cry about it. And it's weird. Why would you sit there for hours on Twitter arguing with people about something that doesn't make sense? Legit, people in this thread acting like next to them, holding a gun to their head and forcing them to play. No one is forcing you to do that, right? No one. No one is forcing you to do that. And, Descendants, the more Descendants you own, the more Descendant slots you need to house them. How is that any different to what Warframe is doing? Unless they've changed that recently, the last time I played Warframe, that was pretty much the same. And look at Chinese slot. I mean, all I'm seeing here for the First Descendant is a lot of people actually scared that this game could dethrone their preferred title. It's almost like the gacha scene, right? Where in the gacha scene, you've got the likes of the Genshin Impact, the Honkai Star Rail, same company, by the way, making both games. They couldn't give two shits which one you actually favored because the money goes to the same place. But now you've got Zenless Zero, which guess what? It's by the same company. The money is going to the same place, so they don't care which one is more popular. At the end of the day, the money goes to the parent company, which is Hoyoverse. You've got Wuthering Waves, you've got the Tower of Fantasy, you've got Azure Promilla coming out. These are all games that, you know, the rivalry I'm seeing in that, where my game is better than yours, my waifu is better than yours, don't say this about my game, don't say this about... It's so childish, right? And now to see grown men doing that about, you know, another looter shooter, it's crazy. And I'm seeing some weird arguments as well, right? They're talking about how Nexon is, you know, a bad company. They got done for antitrust. Like, who hasn't been done for antitrust? Nexon has always been a company that I've said for this game is a red flag. I've never denied that at any point. But then just don't play it. Block them and move on. Why do you have to, like... It's crazy to me that these people are so hell-bent on hating on a game that they don't want to play, but they're secretly actually playing. So they kind of just want to be in the cool crowd because Paul Tassi said, you can unlock everything in the game, does not really hold sway with me when it's you can grind for 30 hours battling purposefully terrible drop rates to avoid paying $3 to $15. At that point, I mean, at least you can unlock it if you grind for it, right? Tell me how you can unlock those skins in Destiny. Yeah, tell me how you can unlock those weapon skins in Destiny. Oh, no. Oh, wait, you can't. Okay. So tell me how the Platinum Real Money Trade is going on in Warframe. Or how Warframe actually started. And how their consumer practices were. Now, I will be the first to say, no company should be given an allowance for the way they actually start, right? Because if you've seen how other people are doing it and it's bad, you should do better. And Nexon should do better. And some of their pricing is a bit egregious. But then others aren't. £10 for a complete character, I think it's under 10 quid, isn't bad. For a gacha, you pay 200 quid. Like, keep that in contrast. But they're also giving you the option to farm it. I know people that have farmed 5 or 6 characters already and have them maxed out. Sure, there's an element of luck there, but they haven't spent a penny in the game yet. So to sit there and give that sort of a statement, no. All that's telling me is that you are threatened that this game is going to have an encroachment on your actual game. Anyway, this blew me away, this whole hate for the First Descendant. It's just crazy, and I really don't understand it. If you don't like it, move on. I personally like it. I'm enjoying it. Looking to do some videos on my other channel, TheChaosLounge Gaming. Nice plug-in there. Shameless plug-in, actually. But hey, it is what it is. If you want to see some of that content, I mean, on that side, you're going to be seeing all sorts of games, whether it's gacha games, AAA games, AA games, small reviews. My son is spearheading a lot of that stuff as well, so he's going to be pumping gaming content out on his side, mainly for the gacha stuff, but he may do small reviews, and I'm going to also put gaming content on that channel as well and keep this one news related. But it's crazy how much, you know, hate is coming towards this game, and the only reason I can think of people hating this game is because they know it's good, it's fun, it's enjoyable, and it's basically pulling people away from the game that they prefer, and that's it. That's it. They are feeling threatened. It's weird. Final Fantasy VI Remake. On the Yoshinori Kitase says a Final Fantasy VI Remake on par with Final Fantasy VII's would take around 20 years to complete. Now, yeah, I can see that, but why does it need to be split into 3 games? Just make the game one big game on disc without all the fluff that was added in Remake and Rebirth and so on. Make it one-to-one like the original, and off you go. You don't need the fluff. You don't need the remake. You don't need to monetize and make people pay 3 times to buy the same game, to complete the story, when it's already available in one package on PlayStation, or on the Switch, or on Xbox, in the retro form. Maybe it'll take 10 years if you decide to do that. Just the 4. It doesn't have to be split into 3 games. But hopefully they'll reconsider, because 6 is a very good entry into the system. Now this one is actually really interesting. This is the one I'm going to end with, because apparently Final Fantasy XIV Mobile is reportedly in development. Now why is this interesting? Because Final Fantasy XI was in development with Tencent. There was a cross-collaboration, but Square Enix didn't like the way Tencent was monetizing, developing the game in terms of the way it was going to get people to become monetized, and it fell through and it collapsed and they cancelled the project. It graphically looked absolutely amazing, even better than what was on the PC, right? Because it was being redone from ground up. It looked phenomenal. Now, I'm hoping that they're not going to have a situation like that here, because that would kind of suck. How this would work, I don't know. It's interesting nonetheless that they are considering bringing the mammoth of a game that is Final Fantasy XIV over to mobile. I mean, what mobile is actually going to have enough space to even install this? I guess you're going to need a 512 gigabyte storage, or a for you to have comfortable, because the game is like 100 gigabytes at the moment. So 256 could work, but with the formatting, it'll be a problem. But I don't know. This is one that I'm going to keep my eye on. It could be interesting, and we'll see how it goes. Obviously, having these on platforms like the Steam Deck and Asus ROG Ally has helped. And in my opinion, playing it on those is a much better way of playing it, because they're both mobile and they have, given you access to a full-fat PC kind of experience, even though it's on a smaller form. But it'll be interesting to see if this one gets cancelled or not. And finally, careful what you wish for. If you wish for nerfs, you'll get nerfs. And apparently, nerfs are coming to certain jobs, but from what I'm hearing, at least for one of them, it was actually probably needed, and it was always coming, because doing that much damage and completely outscaling everything was never the intention. But folks, that's the news. The big one here, obviously, is the Game Pass release schedule and the actual news that something better, maybe, possibly, could be, potentially, considering might be coming. Could be a complete nothing burger. But hey, it is what it is. But hey, if you're not enjoying The First Descendant, or simply hate Nexon for what they are and what they do, don't play the game. It's a free-to-play game. You don't have to play it, right? No one is holding any form of weapon to your forehead and telling you to play it. You got free will. And finally, if you are one of those people that cannot control their spending, stay away from free-to-play games. They are predatory by nature if you cannot control how you spend. I see a lot of people saying, oh, this game is predatory. All free-to-play games are predatory. Regardless, they are all predatory. They all exist to take money from you. If you are one of those people that cannot control your spending, stay away from those games. That's all I'll say. Thanks so much for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, it's a bit of a different video, I know. Do hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell to stay up to date with all content I release, and I will see you in the next one. As always, remain legend.